In February of this year, Prime Minister Justin Trudeau announced that the Government of Canada would develop in full partnership with First Nations, Inuit and Métis a recognition and implementation of rights framework. Over the years, people have always said we need to get rid of the Indian Act and we need to deal on a nation-to-nation basis. But there are certain sections of the Indian Act which currently benefit us, such as it being an act for Indians and lands reserved for Indians. This is also the only tool that the federal government currently has in place to transfer funding to us that they rightfully owe to us. Another section is Section 87, which clearly outlines our exemption to taxation. If we just go ahead and get rid of the Indian Act, we will need something to replace it to ensure that the federal government can still transfer funding to us and so that we can still maintain that taxation exemption. As for the nation-to-nation concept, this is an opportunity for us to come together as a community to define what that means for Six Nations. These discussions need to include everyone in the community, including the Haudenosaunee Confederacy Chiefs Council. With respect to the recent mediation settlement with regards to the use of the Birchlands, the Haudenosaunee Confederacy Chiefs Council and the elected council have agreed to meet to discuss issues of mutual benefit to our community. This is one issue that we need to discuss. A meeting has not yet been set. In the meantime, we are trying to secure as much information and do the research to find out what the federal government is up to. This does not mean that I am or anyone is in agreement with what they are doing, because we're not. In a recent meeting with the minister, we told her to remove Six Nations' name from the list of 60 roundtables that are currently taking place. Our name was erroneously included on that list, and we told her that the only discussions we have going on with the federal government are the exploratory discussions related to whether we can get back to the table to discuss our land rights. I understand that our name has now been removed from that list, so I want to assure people that we are not in any secret discussions. Minister Bennett is still traveling across the country doing her engagement sessions. Our message to her was, along with several other people, that people think they have already drafted whatever legislation it is that they want to impose on us. She assured us that they have not drafted any legislation and that once it is drafted, which is going to be in 2019, I assume, it will be on an opt-in basis. This is a serious issue that we must all pay attention to, and we must make sure we have the correct facts and the correct information. And we must unite as a community to define what we want. We need to take control and tell the government what we want if they're going to move ahead with this framework. And if they put any legislation forward, we understand that it is scheduled to be done in October 2019, which is the same time of the next federal election. I understand that is why that date is set. So as soon as we have the meeting with the Haudenosaunee Confederacy Chiefs Council, we will talk to them about this framework and about having community meetings.